Windbound is a perfect case of a game that is a mile wide yet only an inch deep. It opens with you playing as Kara, washed up on a tiny little island with nothing but a knife. The first thing that stood out to me was the gorgeous Breath of the Wild-esque art style. Windbound does lean more to the cartoonish side of things, but you can't deny the resemblance. After standing around for a few moments and just enjoying the visuals, it was time for me to start actually playing the game. As you can expect from your standard survival crafting experience, the first 10 minutes were just me running around and picking things up off of the ground. After gathering enough supplies, I crafted a sling. It was my first ranged weapon and I was feeling confident, so I went to take on a razorback. And, well, the sling wasn't as powerful as I thought it would be. In my first combat encounter, I could already tell I wasn't a fan. There's a loose lock-on system. The name and health of the enemy will appear on the top of your screen and your movement will turn into strafing. There's also a roll to dodge enemy attacks. It's a very simple system, but it just doesn't feel nice to play. When you attack, there isn't any sort of combo. You get one attack in and then you have to either risk another one or just move back and wait to dodge. You can craft a variety of weapons and projectiles, however the combat itself isn't enjoyable. But the enemy design is really cool, so it has that going for it. The story of Windbound is extremely vague, and not exactly captivating. It's split up into 5 different chapters, and in each chapter you have to find 3 different beacons. Windbound is a roguelike, so on each run, the map is procedurally generated. When you first start the game, you are granted 2 options. The first and developer recommended option is survival mode. The enemies are tougher, and you have to worry about all of the survival mechanics. When you die in survival mode, you drop everything that is not in your main held inventory slots. You also go back to the beginning. The very beginning. Option number 2 is storyteller mode. Enemies are easier, the survival mechanics are trimmed down, and when you die, you keep your full inventory. You are still set back upon death, but instead of going to the very beginning, you only go back to the start of your chapter. That can save you hours of time later on in the game. I started out with the survival mode, since it was the recommended one. At first, I was fine with it, then hunger started becoming an issue. Remember how I didn't like the combat? Well, the best way of getting food to cook early on is by killing the various creatures. This caused me to be stuck doing the gameplay loop that I just didn't enjoy. There are other ways of acquiring food, but due to the randomness of this game, not all islands will have enough. So you will have to deal with the, in my opinion, bad combat system. I then switched to storyteller mode just to mess around, and I can see why survival is the recommended one. In storyteller, the difficulty of the survival mechanics just isn't there, so then you focus more on the story. When you do that, you really start to see there isn't anything else there. Windbound feels like it should be an early access release. It feels like a perfect base to build off of. But this is a full release, and a $30 one at that. I truly looked forward to my time with Windbound, and the main thought I was left with after was meh. The only thing it does somewhat poorly is the combat, but it also doesn't do anything that really stands out. It's just a perfectly average experience. And for that, I have to give Windbound a 5 out of 10. Windbound has a great premise, and I would love to see it be built upon in the future. Thank you for watching our review of Windbound. If you enjoyed it, leave a like and consider subscribing. We release videos every Monday with occasional extra ones throughout the week. If you want to keep up with us outside of YouTube, you can follow us over on Twitter at InputSource. You can also find all links down in the description below. Once again, thank you for watching InputSource. We will see you in the next video.